Abdul Malik Fanibera, who was in prison for over a year for theft, Kolade Johnson, who was shot by a security agent, Adewale Ojo, who was set up by a friend over a lone gun bat, and Adama Mustafa, who was accused of being a wife of Boko Haram suspects, were beneficiaries of various pro bono executed by some chambers and civil society organizations in Yola, Numan and Mubi. Tumba and partners, Gabriel Adiku and Co., Elohim Chambers, G.E. Akpani Masi and Co., the International Federation of Women Lawyers FIDA, and Gavel Nigeria were some chambers and civil society organizations that engage in pro bono services.
This chamber has helped my brother. He was arrested at night and detained without any reason. He contacted them. Behold, their intervention got him freedom.
My brother was shot by a security agent. Thank God he survived it. But it was a long legal battle. This CSO alongside some lawyers helped us come out from that turbulent situation, and damages were awarded while the security agents involved was sanctioned.
Mine was a crazy situation and unfortunate one. It was a long gone bad. Yeah, I loaned a friend some money when it was long overdue. I went to remind him and he ended up setting me up. I got arrested. If not for the help of this CSO, my story would have been a different one. I'm grateful to them.
The right to legal assistance is enshrined in the Constitution. However, in Nigeria, access to justice has remained an elusive ideal, particularly among its most vulnerable and disadvantaged: women, children, youth, and persons with disabilities. Partner of Gabriel Adeku of Elohim Chambers and barrister Tumba and Co. explain what pro bono means.
A brief or a case you take upon to do without fees. Could be that you are not charging fees at all, or it could be that you are charging not up to what ordinarily you would charge.
Free legal services offered to those who are not able to pay for the services of a lawyer.
Although no law requires or mandates legal practitioners in Nigeria to engage in or provide pro bono services, the 2019 Pro Bono Declaration for members of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) states that members of the NBA have a responsibility to provide pro bono legal services due to the role of the legal profession as a facilitator of justice and equality in any legal system. The declaration states that members should commit to provide on a pro bono basis more than 20 hours or 3 days of legal services per individual lawyer per annum, or in the case of law firms, institutions, or other groups of lawyers, an average of more than 20 hours per lawyer per annum. For some of the chambers interviewed, their motivation was simple.
Ordinarily, some of us wouldn't have been lawyers. If it is by parental background, if it is by parental wealthy status, we wouldn't have been lawyers because there was nothing from the background. You're coming from a very poor and humble background, that is one. And then two, I came into the legal profession because of my desire to fight injustice. Most of the cases we take upon pro bono is provoked by the fact that glaringly you see injustice being perpetrated. Somebody's right is grossly being violated on no just cause.
Well, it's just my desire to assist or to give my own quota in serving humanity. If you discover, you will see that there are many people that does not have access to justice, and they don't have even the opportunity to access justice, not because of anything, but because of financial implications. So in that case, we step in to assist to see that we get justice for them.
How many cases of pro bono have these chambers embarked so far?
That we did so many pro bono cases, and even presently as I'm speaking, many are going on, some even capital offenses. There was a case of one Adama Mustafa. It was instituted sometime in 2016. She was accused of being a wife to a Boko Haram suspect. That's just her offense, and that landed her in the prison custody, specifically Yola prison, for more than 2 years. In fact, she was arrested when she was pregnant and later gave birth to her baby boy, a baby boy in the prison custody.
We have engaged ourselves in several pro bonos. But the few I can remember in my early days as a young lawyer, just between the first 3 years of my call, I went into this criminal area, Court 1, where about on their way to jail, because the prosecution was asking them questions they don't understand. They were not represented. They were not understanding the question. They were answering yes. And the judge was writing. I know very well if they have a proper understanding, they will answer that question in the negative. And I interrupted. I said, no, my lord, these people are not represented. Prosecutor got angry. Am I in the case where am I trying to spoil his case? I said, no, I'm not spoiling your case. This is a temple of justice and justice must be done. Well, I got angry and I told the court that I'm representing them. And the judge was like, how? I said they are the only people that will disqualify me. I am representing them. Let the court ask them whether they want me to represent them. So the court asked them, do you want this lawyer to stand for you in Hausa? They say yes. They were excited. And that was how I came into the matter, and that was how we knocked off the case. The case died.
Lady Afeninso Gabriel is the spokesperson of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, an international non-governmental organization in Adamawa. She explains the number of pro bono her organization embarked so far.
So far from the time I've joined FIDA to today, we've handled pro bono cases that are over 60, and most of them, some are still in court, some we've had judgment. From all, we've never had anyone that we needed to go on appeal. We usually would get the judgment and it ends there. And some are very sensitive in the sense that it's divorce matters, basically. And some have also been on enforcement of fundamental human rights. Women are the worst hit in any precarious situation in the country and any society. Even when things are moving well, women still are found at a disadvantaged state. So what FIDA came to do is to see how we can help women to be the voice to these voiceless women, to push for their rights, to sensitize the public on better ways of treating women, issues of family like widowhood, those terrible practices against the widow. We push to abolish them, and we have sponsored so many bills also for the children as well.
How are pro bono services helping to strengthen the criminal justice system?
It helps a lot. It helps in decongesting the prison. If these few instances I gave you out of so many that we did are allowed to go to prison, they add to the number of the people of the inmates. Now all the inmates in prison are on taxpayers' money.
During that last prison visit we had, there were some women that were in prison just because they couldn't pay the fine. They had an option of fine and they couldn't pay, even young boys, okay? So we had to pay, and by so paying, they got their freedom. And some were just minimal amount of money. You realize somebody is in prison for 800 naira, 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, for God's sake. And the person has been in prison with an option of fine for years.
According to Nigerian Prison Service official website, inmate population as at 22nd July 2019 shows out of the total inmate population of 73,995, 68%, which stood at 50,427 are awaiting trial. Only 32%, making 23,568, are convicted, further compounding the already deteriorated condition in Nigerian prison. Should every suspect be sent to prison?
There are cases that you should send the person to prison. There are cases that are ordinarily bailable, even without application. Suo motu, the court can say, go home and be attending trial from the comfort of your house. Not everything, bailable and non-bailable. Prison.
The difference between legal aid funded services and pro bono services is that whilst legal aid is funded or sponsored by the government, pro bono services are provided by lawyers in their professional capacities without the anticipation or receipt of payment for such services. More collaborative efforts is key to dispensation to justice, as the police, prison officials, lawyers and the court should ensure legal representation is made mandatory.
It's not expected that you must have a lawyer. That is why one can represent oneself in civil cases and some criminal cases. The sentences are not life imprisonment or death. But I will say with all sense of responsibility that any case that comes to court and it's a right because of the nature of the allegation that that person must be represented by a lawyer, certainly the person is represented by a lawyer. We have the legal aid.
Efforts to speak to judicial officers in the state prove abortive, as the official concerned declined to comment on the subject matter. Not only is there low provision of legal counseling and representation, there is often a very poor understanding of one's legal rights to begin with. Nigerians can always approach these chambers and CSOs to enable them have a legal representation. Peter Cheman Koti, Gotel News.